Hi, welcome to TechElevate, your hub for smarter teaching with cutting edge tools. I am Monica, your tech teaching coach, and this is the first episode of TechElevate. In this episode, we will explore 11 AI powered tools inside Khanmigo that simplify lesson planning, assessment, classroom discussions, and more. Each tool is paired with clear use case, the purpose it serves, and the real examples across subjects. So let's start by logging into your Khan Academy account and heading to the Khanmigo tool tab. If you're not already signed up for it, sign it up for free. You will be prompted to choose any of your ID from which you want to log in into this particular tool. Since I've already logged in with my Google account, I have been pushed into the tools screen. You have all tools option available here. You can go to my favorites because I recommend using these 10 11 tools rigorously for all kind of activities that you do as a teacher, no matter which subject you belong to. So let's begin with the first tool, which is class newsletter. The purpose of the newsletter is basically to keep parents informed with weekly updates on classwork and upcoming activities. You can use it on Fridays, you can use it before PTMs, or you can even use it when you transition from one unit to another. Let's pick up an example here. Let me give a name to my class. Let's call it as Monica's chemistry class. Let me pick up my prompt from my cheat sheet. I already created one so that you know we can use it. So here I am using mine as explode chemical reactions versus virtual labs. This is what I'm writing in this prompt here. What did we do last week and what will we do next week? So for next week I will pick up begin physical versus chemical changes through group demo. I'm going to put it here. What are you doing next? These three things are mandatory while you're creating a newsletter. You can also give some themes or guidelines if you want for your newsletter, and just click on start and relax. So we have created one newsletter and we can push it to our parents using email. You can export it to a Word document or a PDF. You can save it in your Microsoft OneDrive or Google Drive, wherever you want. I am also going to show you another example from social science here. So let's go back to this tool. I'm going to pick up my prompt from my prompt cheat sheet. Completed a group project on freedom fighters. This is what I did last week. I'm going to put it here and I'm going to write here what am I going to do the next week. So what am I doing next week? As a social science teacher, I'm starting the constitution with the preamble activity. I'm going to put it in my next activity. Let me be mindful of taking my class name, renaming it as Monica's SST class, and then clicking on start. And here is my newsletter. As you can see, it says, we hope this newsletter finds you well and excited for another week of learning and fun. Our students have been busy exploring important topics and we can't wait to share all the great things happening in the class. It talks about the last week's section, it talks about the next week's section, it also talks about certain things to remember, and wrapping up with a smile. So this way you can create a newsletter. Let's go to the next tool. The next tool which I recommend using is, you can even click here and go to teachers tool. The next tool which I recommend using is a discussion prompts. So whenever you want to stimulate critical thinking and classroom conversation, this is a very good tool to use. You can use it during your bell ringers, you can use it during your circle time after readings. Click here, you will see that it asks you to select a level. So I am selecting, let's say I'm selecting a level as grade 8, and I am taking the topic as character development. And then I'm saying, let me go back to my cheat sheet to make it a little faster, and I am saying, how do a character choices reflect their values? I'm going to paste it here and then start. This is an example which I picked up for English. Now you see, how do characters' choices reflect their values? Discuss how a character decision is Decisions in difficult situation reveal what is most important to them. Analyze how a character words and actions align or conflict with their stated beliefs. Explore how a character relationship influence the values shown through their choices. Let me pick up another example for physical education so that I can tell how this can be used by various teachers. Here I'm going to use it for team sports. So I'm going to pick it up like this. I've already created my cheat sheet so that I can make it faster. Here we go. So I'm saying team sports, and I'm saying, is efforts more important than skills in a team setting? And we have a discussion topic. So how does it help you? It helps you create that critical thinking, stimulate that critical thinking during classroom conversations. This is another tool worth exploring. Let's go back to the next one. Let's see what's next in my kitty. In my next kitty, next I have the exit tickets. Many a times we want to do a reflection activity, and we want to see at the end of a lesson or at the end of a unit how are my students doing. Exit ticket is a good tool to use for that purpose. You can use it after a key concept lesson. You can use it after group works. You can use it after you have completed one project. So again, I'm picking up, let's say, 6th grade, and I am saying, assuming that I'm a maths teacher, I completed fractions for children. So I want to check how well they have understood the topic. So here I go. Just look at closely what I'm writing. I'm saying fractions is the topic which I covered, and I want to check what did you learn today, what confused you. So I get my exit ticket here. It says estimated time 1 to 2 minutes. On a slip of paper, answer these 2 questions. What is one thing that you learned about fractions? For example, adding, subtracting, comparing, or simplifying fractions. What is one thing about fraction that still confuses you, or that you would like more help with? So this is again a tool which you can use, which is very excellent when you want to check a clarity on a particular concept or a topic. Let's do it for another subject like life skill. Let's see how does it work there. Maybe I want to check on empathy, and I want to check here, share one moment today where you gave or received empathy, and I want an exit ticket for that. So again, you have an exit ticket, empathy in action, created for you. Let's go back to the next tool and try exploring what's next. Many a times we are doing certain topics for which we want learning objectives. So we can use learning objectives here to create a learning objectives for a particular topic which we are teaching currently. So whenever you want to have measurable lesson objectives aligned with the curriculum during your lesson planning or for certain intention slides, you can use lesson objective. Let's go to art this time. Let's assume I'm a 9th grade art teacher, and I want to check on topic of applying warm and cool colors schemes in the artwork. Let's say that's my topic, and I want learning objectives. So learning objectives is like apply warm and cool color schemes intentionally in the visual artwork to create visual contrast and communicate. Students will justify their color choices by explaining how the selected schemes enhances the expressive quality of their piece. So what is the objective here? By the end of this lesson, I'll be able to use warm and cool colors in my own artwork to create contrast and set mood. I'll be able to explain why I choose these colors. Let's pick up another topic from history and see how does this tool helps me build those learning objectives. Let's say my topic is causes of revolt of 1857. Let's start with this. So by the end of this lesson, I'll be able to explain the main reasons behind the revolt of 1857 and give examples of how reasons led to the uprising in different parts of India. Okay, so this is again a tool worth trying. Let's go to another one. Many times as teachers, we want to do a topic and sometimes we feel that our class is not interested in the topic. We can always use lesson hooks to build that interest, to build that curiosity, to create a compelling lesson starter. So take a grade. Let's take a grade here. Let's pick up something like whenever we want to start a new chapter, or maybe whenever we want after breaks or after lunch we have a session, we want to create a engaging entry point to spark student curiosity. We can use it. Let's do it for a 8th grader, and let's say that we have a topic where we are asking students to interpret beat and its emotion. If you have a context, you can write a context here. Like for example, I'm picking it up from my cheat sheet again. Let's say this, and I'm going to play it here and then start. So I get my activities here. Begin the lesson by playing a short mysterious beat and ask students to close their eyes and jot down their first emotion or scene that comes in mind. Organize a quick emotion charades. Present students with a set of simple percussion instruments or objects. So this is one activity which we have taken by simply clicking on lesson hook. Let's try another one. Let's try an economics example this time. Let's do it for Uber rides. Let's say we are discussing economics with grade 11, and we want to introduce supply and demand, and the context is that why Uber rides are expensive when it rains. So here we have another 3 sets of activities. Begin with the real-time data interpretation activity. Display a live map or recent data showing Uber ride prices in your city. Pose a complex real-world problems. Run a quick simulation. So this way you can use this tool, lesson hook. Let's go to another one which I have in my favorites category. That's lesson plan generator, and I'm sure many of you want quick lesson plan generator because a lot of time we have to invest when we have to create those lesson plans. Click on lesson plan here. So whenever you want to build a complete structured lesson plan in various formats, you are planning your week, you are creating sub plans, or you're creating fast curriculum, you're redesigning it. You can either search Khan Academy to look for a topic. Let's say for example, if I write here photosynthesis, you can search it in the library. If you can create you can use a pre-used resource which has been created, or if you want to create it on your own, then you have to select the format, put the topic here. Let's say for example, I want to do a lesson plan on provide. So there's an option as provide your own content. Click on that, and I want to do a lesson plan on water pollution. And if I have notes, I can give notes here, which is mandatory when you're giving your own content. Suppose I want water pollution reasons or sources of water pollution in urban setup. You can give the format which you prefer, like 5-part, 4-part. There's objective, introduction, instruction, practice and assessment. Do you want to use 4-part warm up, classroom activities, lesson synthesis, cool down, or for the purpose of demonstrating, I'm using 5E here, and then I can give the level of detail. So I'm giving, by default, it is outline. You can click on start, and your lesson plan would be generated in a moment. So here are some ideas to use this content in your lesson plan. Engage by posing a question. What do you notice about the water you use every day? Where does it come from? Where does it go after use? What might happen to water in a city as it travels through pipes, streets, and rivers? What do you already know about water pollution? Have you ever seen polluted level water in your community? So you can see the whole lesson plan has been planned for you using the 5E model, which we chose to create a lesson plan. Next, let's explore something very interesting. Majority of the time as teachers, we have to do summative and formative assessments. So let's look at some of the assessment tool here. Let's go to my favorite category. Here I have MCQ, which is multiple choice quiz generator. Let's click on that. So whenever you want to generate instantly some MCQs with answer keys, you can use this for practice test. You can use it for bell ringers. You can use it for quick checks whenever you want. Again, here also you can search the Khan Academy, or you can do it yourself. So I'm saying provide my own content, otherwise you can use the resources. And here I have to give my objectives. So my objective is to check, to distinguish between input and output devices. I'm doing it for ICT. Input versus output devices. I can put in my notes. In notes I can say which of these is not an input device. I can put my grade level here. Let's say I'm doing it for grade 5. Answer choices, 4 options. Number of questions, I can do it up to 20. So I'm doing 5 right now, and I start. And here comes my questions. Which of the following is an input device? Which of these is an output device? What is the main function of a mouse as a computer device? So like this you can create and here is your answer key. If you want, now this can be exported to a PDF, to a Word, to a OneDrive, and it can even go into as a Google Form. So I'm saving it to Google Forms, and once I save it to Google Forms, my form is also ready to be used. So I can always create my MCQs like this. Let's go to the next one. The next one is my another personal favorite, which is like question generator. Whenever you want to generate comprehension questions from context text, especially for post reading, flipped classrooms, or test preparation, you can use your question generator. So let's look at how does this tool works. What does it offers me? It asks me to select my grade. Let's say I select my grade as 10th here. I want my number of questions should be 5, and let's say my text is emotional intelligence overview. Considering I'm a psychology teacher, let's look at what comes here. Wow. So, what is emotional intelligence? Name 2 key components of emotional intelligence. How can understanding your own emotions help you in everyday life? So, I have a set of 5 questions I asked for, and I also got some key answers for it. Let's try another example for question generator by choosing biology as a subject. Let's say I need a paragraph on photosynthesis, and on photosynthesis I'm teaching photosynthesis to grade 6, and I need to check level of understanding of photosynthesis for grade 6, especially on why sunlight is vital for photosynthesis. And here we go. So here are my questions. I can simply get the questions, I can get the answers, I can print them directly, I can share them from here. I can create a link and give it to my peer teachers. I can print it if I am connected to a printer, or I can simply save it as a PDF. I can export it in a Word document, a Google Drive, or a form itself. So these are my options available when I talk about question generator. Something which is very, very interesting in Khanmigo is one of my personal favorite here is real world context generator. So let's move on to the next tool, which is my 9th tool, which I'm talking about. So whenever you have lessons where you want to connect topics to real world examples, this is a good tool to use, and many a times we fall short of finding out those examples ourselves. So when you want to make abstract topics relatable using everyday scenario, this is your tool to go to. Whenever you're doing inquiry units, you're doing PBLs, project based learnings, or you're doing SDG based theme lessons, you can use this tool. For example, let's say I'm teaching chemistry to 10th grade and I'm using my topic as acid and bases, and suppose I want to check pH in soaps and soil quality for plants. I put this and I say start. So here we go. Here it gives me ideas on real life context. Explore how the pH of soap affects their cleaning power and their impact on skin. Many commercial soaps are formulated to be slightly basic. For example, human skin typically has a pH around 5.5. So it gives me all real life context for this. Let's try another one using maybe topic as business studies for grade 11. Let's try that. So let's go to grade 11. Let's put the topic as marketing mix. Let's see what we get. So here it gives me smartphone launch strategy, sustainable fashion brands, local food truck business, to explain the concept of marketing mix. So very good tool to use when you are struggling to find out what exams to pick up. Something which is always troubling us as a teacher is when all those 4 times in a year we have to do report card comments. Khanmigo can help you with that. Go to the tool report card comments. Let's go to my favorites and let's go to my report card comments and see how can we write those personalized constructive report comments. Whenever you have term end reporting or you need progress reviews, you can put your student name here, you can put the grade here, you can put your strengths and highlights. Like for this exam, this student, maybe I want to write expressive and energetic. But I feel that this child struggles with group coordination. So what kind of comment? Let's look at it. Wow, Monica brings a high level of expressiveness and energy to classroom activities, contributing to lively discussions and engaging presentations, and blah blah blah, and developing stronger group coordination skills would further enhance Monica's ability to collaborate. So many a times, it's not that we cannot write it, but we are short of time, and why should we be wasting our time in activities which can be very easily done with AI? And again, you can export it to a PDF, a doc, or a Google Drive or a OneDrive document. Now let's come to the end. My last favorite 11, it's like a cricket team I'm talking about. So the 11th tool, let's go to the last one. My last one is rubric generator. Many a times we give a lot of activities to children and we try to find out what kind of rubrics we should evaluate them on. So the purpose is that use a rubric generator which can auto generate rubrics based on assignments and criteria. Whenever you have a project day, maybe you're doing a creative task or you're doing a peer assessment, we can use rubric generator. Like for example, I am a drama teacher and I am teaching grade 12, and I want to get rubrics for monologue performance. So it can, you know, you can add rubrics, or it can add rubrics yourself. Let's say for example, I want to check on voice, I want to check on emotion, so I'm adding. I want to check on stage movement. And then I can put my performance level here. There are three: emerging, progressing, excelling, beginning expectation, developing expectation, meeting expectation, exceeding expectation. I can pick up my whatever I feel is right. I can pick that up. Let's say, I mean, majority of the time organizations and even schools pick up 4 levels, and even CBSE says 4 levels, so I'm picking up 4. If I want to pick up my notes or give my notes here, I can give my notes, and I say start. So here comes my criteria, because I gave them. If I don't give them, it will pick up the criterias on its own, and it gives me rubrics for all 4 evaluation matrix which I gave while I was feeding the data. Again, I can explore it and pick it up and give it in variety of subject. I can use it for any subject I want to use it for. So these are, certain tools which I highly recommend for, teachers to use. And that's wrap on Khanmigo. 11 tools that save time, reduces stress, and power up your teaching. Which tool are you thinking of, trying this week? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to TechElevate for more teacher-first tech walkthroughs. If you need any training help, just drop a comment. I have got your back. Until next time, elevate smart, tech teach world. Thank you.